Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. What's in your news for Thursday, the 18th day of January 2024? Regina Hunt. Don't be like Regina Hunt. Just going through. I want to thank you for coming to YouTube. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel on YouTube, okay? I have a lot of standalone videos that you can see. I've put some here, but on YouTube I have standalone videos on almost everything that I publish, okay? This is Sherry Veronica. Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Now, the St. Bartholomew School has always been there. Okay, the airport incinerator has always been there. Smoke is always coming out of incinerators. Okay, depending on how the wind is blowing, you may get it really bad some days as opposed to other days, but it's something that has been a constant. It's there. Okay, so what's new? What is new? Okay, teachers are on a rampage. It seems as though there's something up with the union and how they're influencing teachers and teachers not wanting to work and every little thing that may affect their health. They're more concerned and they're more aware of conditions that may hurt them long term as opposed to ignoring it. I think teachers are coming into themselves and putting their health first. Okay, they're putting their health first. Okay, so Zoom, that's what comes to mind. Zoom. There's dengue and other flu symptoms, and they're saying a whole lot of Barbadians are getting sick. I just put up a young person that died. They said it suggested that she died from dengue, not sure, but a lot of young people are leaving the island, and people are I think people are afraid. I think a lot of working people are afraid of sick buildings, afraid of the smoke, afraid of things that they've heard. Oh, a lot of people died in this area from this particular thing. It's fear. It's fear. And I think that Barbadians and the Ministry of Education and all the BUT, the Barbados Union of Teachers, all of you should decide to do Zoom classes until you're comfortable again. Until you are comfortable again. Even that lady falling through the floor of a makeshift classroom. You guys are afraid. You're spreading fear throughout Barbados. It's just an underlying fear. Just do Zoom classes. Get it really organized. Make sure it's really, really organized and kids are able to really tune in and do their homework, submit their homework and that kind of stuff. But this is not good. Every day you're reading about teachers and the unions and teachers and the unions and schools and the 11 plus. Every day the Ministry of Education is in your news. Come on now, stop it. You're big folks. Make some solutions that work. Create some solutions that work. Zoom. First thing that comes to my mind. Zoom. Do Zoom classes, okay? Sherry Veronica. Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Kim McConney is there saying that there's a give and take in education and the government has a payback program where they fund students' education. They give them the money, they facilitate them going to school, and part of the agreement is the student has to give back. It's volunteer work, but they have to give back, and it's part of graduation. It's part of them graduating. They have to show, well, I did the 150 hours or 100 hours or whatever, and it's part of graduation. Now she's saying that 90% of the students do not do it. She is saying that most University of the West Indies, BCC, Erdeston, she is saying that 90% of them do not do the work. That is part of the graduation process. So okay, let's get to the gist of this. Are you saying, Kay, that these kids that go to school, let's say there's 100% go to school and they get to the part where they're graduating, you're saying that only 10% go through that volunteerism and actually get the degree and go out into the world? Only 10% get that degree? Or are you saying that although it's tied to graduating, these students actually do graduate but still don't get? What are you saying, Kay? What are you saying? Because it's hard for me to think that 90% of students do not graduate because you're holding on to them volunteering somewhere along the line, 150 hours, whatever hours, you're holding on to that. Is that what you're saying? So when these people get in your news and they talk, they need to tell the whole thing. So like I said, I find it impossible to believe that 90% of potential graduates are not getting their degrees because they're saying, oh, I'm not going to do that volunteerism. Oh, they paid me taxpayers' money. It's taxpayers' money. You give me the wherewithal so I can get my education, but I'm not going to give back. I'm not going to do that. So is that what you're saying? And even if you're saying that, it's normal. People like to take, but they don't want to give back. They beg you, they borrow, but they don't like to give back. Is that what you're saying, Kay? That these young people would rather not have a degree after working all those years. They would rather not have a degree than to volunteer? Or is it that although you're saying it's tied to graduation, that they actually do graduate and then don't do it? Speak clearly, Kay. Speak clearly. And Kay, every time I see you, Kay, you gotta work on pushing yourself away from that table, okay? This is Sherry Veronica. Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. I think that it is fortunate for Barbados that people there would choose to believe lies as opposed to seeking out truths. Okay, so this will work in Barbados. They talk about an impressive start to a winter cruise season and it's performing as predicted. Those cruise ships in Barbados, it's going to destroy your coastline. That's what it's going to do. You may not see it now, but in 100 years from now, that area is going to be destroyed. Not only that, they put a lot of stuff in your water that you don't need in the water. The coral reefs are hurting from all that activity of those massive cruise ships that are coming in. It's just too much for a small island nation like Barbados. And then you have to provide them with water, and in the meanwhile you're providing them with good clean water, and people on the island, they're getting dirty, murky, yellowish, brownish, water that is not good for consumption. So where are these people going with what they're saying in your paper? I think that they are very lucky. People are very lucky that Barbadians believe lies more readily than the truth. They will get away with all this kind of stuff in your paper. Impressive start. And another thing is, they pay a lot of people to come to Barbados. They are paying a lot of social media influencers and people who have a name and they're paying them to come to Barbados. Those people are not out of pocket. They're paying them. Everything is free. So I think you're losing a lot. And your coastline and just the ecosystem is being destroyed. And I guess within a couple 100 years my voice will be gone and nothing will be here. But then you see it's the same thing that happened when they dropped that bomb in Japan, they realized what it did to the ozone and the clouds and the atmosphere up above. People do not see things when it's happening, but you have to think of the future. You have to think about what you're doing, and you have to think about your future, especially when you're having kids. When you're having kids, they have to be here. When you're gone, you have to leave the world for them. But yeah, I think that they're lying to you. I think that all this about tourism and that kind of stuff, I think they're lying to you. I don't think that they have as much money, and I don't think they're doing as well as they say they are. Okay, it's picture perfect. It's a good picture, but it's not true. It's not real. Sherry Veronica. Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Now you can tell me that you like your island. Can you tell me that you actually love your island, Barbados, when you do this? You call this love? Do you call this love? You can't really care about your island and the environment there. You cannot really care and do this kind of dumping. Day in and day out, you just dump. And this is just a little bit. This is just a little bit. I've put up other sites where there are dumps all over the place. You dump it in broad daylight on the corners. Do you love Barbados? Do you love yourself? Can you care about yourself when you're destroying the environment that you live on? How do you care about you? How do you care about the person in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, how can you care about yourself when you're destroying your home? You're destroying your home, okay? And they're doing a probe? A probe? They love that word. They're no probe? They're not doing no probe? Okay, all they need to do is set up some surveillance cameras in that area. You can use a lot, there's sunlight there all the time. You can use solar to make sure that the cameras, solar and electricity, to make sure that those cameras are always on. And you can find out who's doing these things. It's easy. This is easy. You can't really love Barbados. You cannot love your island nation and be doing this. Impossible. This is really a shame. And then they get into the paper talking about a probe. You know no other word? A probe? A probe? This is Sherry Veronica. Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Sandra Mason makes it to 75 years old. Okay, she's celebrating her birthday, and she has the cadets and whoever else they're celebrating with her. Now, before they said 75, I've seen Sandra in many photos, many occasions. You know, she's always in your news. She's always in your news. And before they mentioned that she was 75, I saw her as looking pretty good for her age. You know, you say, well, she looks pretty good for her age. I thought that she looked pretty healthy for her age. But when they said in this particular installment here that she's 75 years old, she looks older. It's almost as though when you say certain ages, your brain adjusts. So I don't know why. I look at this and I say to myself, between last week when I saw her and this week, knowing her real age, she has aged. Maybe she hasn't, but the suggestion that she is 75, putting it out there that she is 75, you start to look at her a little closer, and I don't know, it's really a mental world. This world is mental, okay? And Sandra still looks good. She's still walking around. She's still, she still has her faculties, mental faculties going and everything. So she's doing very well. But for some reason, when I heard her age, I saw it on her. It almost aged her to say her age. It almost aged her in my mind, in my eyes. It did that for me. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.